Hey guys, back to talking about death. Be sure to read the post, by the way, because I think oftentimes my writing might be a little bit more clear than my speaking, but I'm doing my best here. When you first start this journey, it actually is pretty exciting. I remember thinking about dying and having all of these attributes that I wanted at the end of the death, which are promised to you in many ways. I mean, it's in scripture, it's all over spirituality, and it's kind of common knowledge that if you die to yourself, if you die to your own desires and your own impulses, then what's available to you is really the life that you want, right? The life that's deeply ingrained, I think, in all of us. And for me, that was peace, self-control, kindness, patience, consciousness, and presence. Something I really struggled with most of my life is really just to stay in the present moment. And later I find out it's like what I'm here to become is somebody who literally just lives in the present. But I was so far from that. And I was so excited for these things to come to me, right? This is the promise. So I was not prepared for my personal torture device. And it doesn't happen with everybody. Like I said, some people can go through this journey on their own, and that's amazing. But typically, you need somebody like I had, somebody really close to you who loves you so much that they're willing to hold a hot iron to your face on a regular basis. I had this person, and what they're really holding up is a mirror. And I asked them, please hold me accountable. I want to grow. I want to see myself. Thankfully, I had somebody who had incredible vision and insight and can kind of see past the physical and really can like see into your soul, which is pretty painful when you give them access. But it's what I welcomed. And so the mirror arrived on the regular. And it was so painful because it showed me who I really was. Like, it really exposed to me what my true intentions were. Not what I thought they were, but really what they were. And I said some very critical prayers, and I focused on asking God to reveal to me my true intentions behind my actions. Because one of the things my mirror was telling me was, look, you think you do all these things for other people, but the truth is you're pretty selfish. In fact, most of what you do is self-serving. And I was like, whoa, what? Like, I love people. My team loved me, I think. maybe not. So like I said, I had to be willing to ditch everything that I thought I knew about myself and try this on. And I'll never forget, one of the most profound moments for me is I was packing the kids' lunches. 5 kids. We were living in Annapolis, and I'm up there early in the morning packing all their lunches, feeling like a great dad, and I was arrested in the moment, which is what happens to you when you pray these prayers and you ask for it. God is faithful. And I saw, oh my gosh, I'm packing these kids' lunches not for their benefit. I'm literally doing this because I want to hear from them affirmation, and I want to feel like I'm a good dad. I'm not looking, the way I'm packing them, my intention behind it, even what I'm packing, I'm not thinking about them. I'm thinking about what I'm going to get from them and from my wife because I'm doing this. And it was profound. I mean, it hurt. I was like, oh my gosh. And then, of course, it happened with everything. And it was a hard lesson for me to see that most of my actions did not have pure intentions behind them. And I had a lot of work to do to transform that and really say, if I'm packing these lunches not for my own affirmation and to feel good about myself, but really for the benefit of my kids, what's it going to look like? And I had to do this with every area of my life because unfortunately there were very few areas, if any, if I recall, where I had good intentions. When I say good, I mean, of course, I didn't have evil intentions. I mean, that my intentions were aligned with my actions, that I was truly living for the benefit of someone else, not me. If I'm going to die to self, my own desires must die. My own self-serving nature must die. And I knew inherently that this was the man I wanted to be. You just know, like you just deep down know, like when you watch somebody live like that, you say, there's something in you that says, yes. Most of us are too darn afraid to go through the process. And it also just sounds ridiculous. What do you mean, die to your own desires? Well, there are greater desires in you already. And they're from the God in you, from the divine in you, is my belief. And when you tap into those and you get past your own, and your own are easy, they're right there. They're what drive most of us every day. I mean, it was, when I started to look, it became painfully obvious. So I had to start to transform my intentions first, and that started to change my actions. But that mirror was so necessary, showing me the ugly truth about myself, and I will forever be grateful. One thing that was really hard for me, though, was to let go of hate, because I wanted to hate the person holding the mirror. I wanted to then hate myself. And my spiritual mentor was super clear from the beginning, and I knew it to be true. And he would just say, how can a dead man hate? A dead man's dead. And it's that moment where you realize, oh my goodness, I can no longer blame anybody, not even myself. That is a hard lesson that I'll talk about in my next post, is when we turn this on ourselves, it's no better. So the painful truth is there's no blame, there's no judgment, there's no condemnation, not on this journey. And this makes you have to deal directly with yourself, your ego that you're trying to let die. So more death around the corner.